Archangel Michael says, "My dear child, the final 45 seconds of this message could shift your life in ways beyond your imagination. So stay with me till the end, and receive the wonderful gifts I have lovingly placed in your path." This is the final alert, the moment drawn in golden light, wrapped in divine urgency, whispering quietly yet pressing deeply into the soul. There are 20 minutes left, and I kept you alive for a reason, but time is running out. The voice does not shout, and it does not strike with fear, but it trembles with the weight of eternity, soaked in a love that has watched over you since your very first breath. This message is not meant to frighten, but to awaken. It is not punishment that draws near, but a deep and holy invitation, an open door held by hands that were pierced out of mercy, stretched wide on a cross for you, and for all who have wandered far from the light. Type 333 to welcome blessings. You are here because God chose it. You are reading these words because the heartbeat within you is still echoing the song of heaven. Even when the days have been dark, and you have walked beneath clouds of sorrow, confusion, and quiet despair, there has been an unseen hand upon your shoulder, gently urging you forward, protecting you from things you never even knew were near. Every sleepless night, every aching moment of loss, every silent cry from the depths of your heart has been heard. You were not forgotten, not overlooked, and not unloved. Even when it felt like no one else could see what you carried inside, Jesus Christ saw, and he never turned away. The world has spun fast, and you have seen many things that made your heart grow tired, perhaps even cold. People have betrayed you. Life has stolen things you thought you would have forever. Dreams faded. Hopes were silenced. But there has always been a reason you were still here. God's love kept the flame alive, even when the wind tried to blow it out. And now, in these final 20 minutes, a holy hush settles over your soul, because something sacred is being spoken to the deepest part of you. The Lord, your God, who formed you with purpose and kindness, has not given up on you. Jesus, your Savior, the one who walked dusty roads and reached out to the broken, is still reaching for you now. Not with anger. Not with judgment. But with a love so deep, it bends down to where you are, and stays there with you until you can stand again. He has waited patiently, not to condemn you for what has gone wrong, but to heal you with what has always been right, his perfect love. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. Sometimes life teaches you to be quiet when you should cry out. It tells you to hold everything in, to hide your pain behind smiles, to carry burdens alone. But Jesus never asked you to do that. He never asked you to be strong on your own, or to clean yourself up before coming to him. He only asks that you come, even now, even in this final moment, just as you are. You don't need to earn his love. You already have it. You don't need to fix what's broken before he sees you. He's seen it all, and he still calls you his beloved. There is a stirring in the air now, a stillness that feels like something sacred is leaning close. The heavens are not distant, they are closer than your next breath. You have been given this moment, this final warning, not to terrify you, but to remind you of what is most true. Time on earth is short. We blink, and it passes. But the soul, your soul, was made to last forever. And where it will rest is not a matter of chance, but of choice. Type Amen if you believe in God's endless mercy. This is why you are still alive. This is why you have been protected. This is why, even when you thought you had no strength left, something inside of you whispered to keep going. The reason has always been love. God's love. A love that doesn't give up. A love that waits, and then waits again. A love that watches every road you take, every mistake, every fall, and still gently says, "Come home." This moment, this final 20 minutes, is holy. Not because it is perfect, but because it is yours. And God is in it. Jesus is calling you now, not with threats, but with tears in his eyes. He knows how heavy your heart has been. He knows the loneliness that settles in even when you're surrounded by people. He knows how hard you've tried, how often you've failed, and how much you've longed for peace that doesn't disappear with the sunrise. So now, in the stillness, listen. Listen not with your ears, but with your heart. Can you feel it? The warmth, the quiet pull, the gentle voice within? That's him. That's your Savior. And he is not far away. He is here. He is near. He is ready. The time is not endless. The clock does not pause. But for this moment, these sacred minutes, the door is wide open. You are not being forced through it. You are being invited. And the invitation is made of grace, written in the blood of the Lamb, sealed with a promise that cannot be broken. Archangel Michael says, "This is the continuation of the final alert, the gentle and loving reminder that your life was never random, that your breath is sacred, and that time, precious and holy, is slipping away. You have 20 minutes, not in fear but in grace, to look within and recognize that your soul has always been watched over, even in your silence, even in your doubts. You were kept alive for a reason, a divine purpose woven into your being by the Creator himself. But now, heaven leans close, because the hour has grown late, and the heart of God calls softly, yet with urgency. In every moment that you felt unseen, heaven was watching. Not as a distant judge, but as a loving father who refused to abandon his child. You may have thought you wandered too far, made too many wrong turns, or buried yourself too deep in regret, but none of that is stronger than God's mercy. The love of Jesus reaches even into the darkest corners, not to accuse you, but to bring light, to lift you, to restore what was lost, and to hold you close until your heart begins to beat with hope again. Many have spoken about God in ways that made you feel afraid, ashamed, or unworthy. But the true heart of Jesus is not one of condemnation. His heart is tender. He weeps when you hurt. He listens when no one else can hear the quiet cries of your soul. He doesn't walk away when you struggle, and he doesn't grow tired of your need for comfort. He stays. He remains. And he always will, until the very last breath you take. What you're feeling now, that quiet stirring, that gentle ache in your chest, is not guilt. It is longing. It is your spirit remembering where it came from. It is your heart recognizing that it belongs to someone greater, someone who never stopped reaching for you, even when you stopped reaching for him. You were made in love, by love, for love. And though the world tried to rewrite your story with pain, God's version has never changed. You are still his. Type 2020 to embrace joy and strength in Christ. You may carry heavy memories, things you wish you could undo, words you wish you hadn't said, moments where you felt like you failed everyone, even yourself. But Jesus doesn't ask you to erase your past. He asks to hold it. He asks to carry what you cannot carry anymore. And in his hands, what was once a burden becomes a testimony. What once brought you shame becomes a doorway to healing. Because when Jesus touches your wounds, they do not stay wounds forever. This is the kind of love that doesn't ask for perfection. It simply asks for surrender. Not the kind that comes from fear, but the kind that comes from relief, that moment when you realize you don't have to do this alone anymore. That you were never expected to. That God is not waiting for you to get everything right, but simply to trust him enough to let him in. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Imagine, for just a moment, the arms of Christ wrapping around you, not to trap you, but to protect you. Imagine his eyes meeting yours, not with anger, but with deep, unshakable compassion. Imagine him kneeling beside you, not above you, because that is who he is, the shepherd who goes after the lost one, the healer who touches the sick, the friend who washes the feet of the weary. This is not just a message. It is a holy moment. A divine invitation. A quiet, yet powerful call to step out of the storm and into a place where you are completely, eternally safe. Not because the world will change in an instant, but because your soul will finally find rest in the one who made it. There is no sin too great. No shame too deep. No distance too far. You may have wandered, but Jesus never lost sight of you. And he is not waiting at the finish line, he's already beside you, offering his hand, whispering softly, "I've never stopped loving you. Come with me." Let these moments slow you down. Let the rush and noise of the world fall away. Let the truth settle in your heart like morning light. You were made for heaven. You were made for love. You were made to walk hand in hand with God, not in fear, but in peace. And this life you've been given, even with all its twists and wounds, still holds beauty, because it still holds a place for grace. The time is moving forward, quietly but surely. But every second is still filled with hope. Every breath is still filled with the chance to say yes. Yes to healing. Yes to forgiveness. Yes to Jesus. There is still time. There is still love. And it is being offered freely, not because you earned it, but because it's who God is. Archangel Michael says, "This is the final alert. and every second that passes is like a drop of eternity falling into your soul. There are now only minutes left, and yet, even in this closing moment, the love of God remains unchanged. You were not kept alive by accident or by chance. You were kept alive because God has always seen something in you that this world could not destroy. And now, in these last few quiet moments, His voice is tenderly calling you home, not to a place, but to a relationship, a love, a truth that has waited patiently just behind the noise of your life. Type 2121 if you trust God's plan for your life. From the very beginning, you were formed with care, shaped by a Creator who delighted in the thought of you. You were not mass-produced or forgotten in the crowd. You were knit together with purpose, with beauty, and with a deep connection to the heart of God. And through every trial, every season of pain, every mistake, and every tear, His love for you never weakened. In fact, the more you struggled, the more His compassion reached toward you, always wanting to lift you, always wanting to remind you that you belong to Him. Perhaps you feel like you've wandered too far, like your story has drifted from anything sacred or good. But Jesus never stops walking beside you, even when your steps falter. He doesn't wait for you to come crawling back in shame. He meets you where you are, wraps you in His mercy, and gently leads you back to love. His love isn't just a feeling. It is a shelter. It is a light that breaks through fear. It is a healing balm on the wounds you've tried to hide. You have survived more than you speak of. There are parts of your story that no one fully knows, places where your heart bled silently while you smiled for the world. But God knows. And He never looked away. He stayed through every storm, every silent night, every time you thought no one understood. And now He is asking you not to fight alone anymore. He is asking you to let go, not of your life, but of your fear, your guilt, and your belief that you are too broken to be loved. Time is running out, but grace is still overflowing. It's not about fear or punishment. It's about finally coming back to the truth that's been inside you all along, that you were created to live in love, walk in peace, and rest in God's embrace. You are not forgotten. You are not just surviving. You are deeply, eternally loved, and there is a place prepared just for you, a place not built with human hands, but with the pure intentions of a Savior who laid down everything so that you might live. The world may have told you that love must be earned. That you are only worthy if you are perfect, if you never fall, if you never doubt. But Jesus says otherwise. He says love is a gift. He says you are worthy because He made you. He says your scars don't disqualify you, they make you more human, more real, and even more precious in His eyes. He knows the struggle. He lived it. He suffered it. And that's why He's the one who can walk with you now, with understanding, with gentleness, and with the kind of comfort this world can never offer. This moment is holy. Not because it is flawless, but because it is soaked in divine mercy. You are not too late. You are not too lost. Even if you've spent a lifetime turning away, this second, right now, is filled with the power of return. Heaven rejoices not when someone is perfect, but when someone finally says yes. Yes to being loved. Yes to being held. Yes to being forgiven. Yes to Jesus. Let your heart soften. Let your tears come if they must. There is no shame here. Only the warmth of being seen, truly seen, and still cherished beyond anything you can imagine. God is not waiting for the best version of you. He's waiting for the real you. The one who's tired. The one who's unsure. The one who needs help. And He is not coming with judgment, He is coming with open arms, ready to carry you. Type 2222 to open the door to new blessings. So breathe. Let the heaviness fall away. Let your soul feel the gentle call of home, of peace, of love that will never fail you. The time is short, but the invitation is eternal. You are not here by chance. You are here because heaven wants you to know this simple truth: there is still time to return, still time to believe, still time to be saved. Archangel Michael says, "This is still the final alert, and time continues to fall like sand through your fingers, quietly, steadily, and without pause. You are alive right now, not by chance or by luck, but by the will of the one who never stopped loving you, even when you stopped loving yourself. You were kept alive for a reason, and that reason is greater than every fear, every regret, and every wound you've carried. The minutes are fewer now, and yet, God's mercy is still wide open, waiting patiently to draw you in, not with force, but with a kind of love that will never run out. There are moments in life that feel like turning points, even if nothing loud or obvious happens. This may be one of those moments for you, a soft, holy pause in the rush of everything else. The world keeps moving fast, but God is slowing this moment down so your heart can hear again, maybe for the first time in a long while. Hear what? Not rules. Not demands. But the voice of Jesus, speaking with kindness, full of grace, and echoing with hope. He's saying, "I see you. I know what you've been through. And I still want you. You may feel unworthy of such love. Maybe you think you've ignored God too long, or done things that closed you off from grace. But the truth is, you were never meant to earn this love, it was always a gift. A gift given before you even knew you needed it. A gift that never expires, never gets taken back, and never comes with strings attached. God's love is steady. It doesn't waver with your mistakes, and it doesn't fade when you struggle. It simply remains, waiting to be received. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. If your heart has grown tired, if you've carried too much for too long, if you've forgotten how to hope, Jesus is still here, holding peace in His hands and offering it to you. Not a peace that fixes everything around you in a moment, but a peace that fills your soul so deeply that even in the middle of chaos, you'll know you're not alone. You've never been alone. Not for a second. Not even when you thought no one cared. He cared. He always did. And now, He's calling to you, not to scare you, but to save you from the weight you were never meant to carry. You don't have to live with that heaviness anymore. You don't have to pretend to be okay when you're not. You don't have to carry pain in silence or regret in secret. Jesus knows all of it, and still, He comes near, not to correct you, but to comfort you. Not to punish you, but to rescue you with love so deep, it can't be measured. You don't need to wait until you're stronger, or cleaner, or more put together. You don't need to fix yourself before turning to Him. He wants you just as you are. Right now. In this moment. Not the future version of you. Not the version you think He wants. Just you. The one with the messy thoughts, the broken places, the guilt you've tried to hide. He already sees it, and still, He chooses you. Over and over again. You've been given this time, this holy, borrowed time, for a reason. And the reason is love. The reason is redemption. The reason is because God is not done with you yet. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond healing. And you are not too late. These final minutes are not meant to bring fear. They are meant to open your eyes to what has been waiting for you all along. Type 1818 to claim miracles. Jesus is not a stranger to sorrow. He knows what suffering feels like. He knows betrayal, loneliness, and pain. And that's why He understands yours. That's why He can meet you in it. He doesn't stand far off. He draws close. And He's not ashamed of you. He isn't afraid of what's broken in you. In fact, it's those very broken places where His love shines the brightest. There is still time. Even now. Even in the last stretch of this journey. Not time to fix everything, not time to go back and undo the past, but time to say yes. Yes to forgiveness. Yes to peace. Yes to love that never ends. God didn't keep you alive to watch you suffer. He kept you alive because He wants to walk with you, speak with you, restore you. Not someday. Not later. Now. Let yourself believe again. Let yourself breathe. Let your soul begin to hope. Because what's being offered to you is more than comfort, it's salvation. Not just from what's coming, but from what has already weighed you down. And all you have to do is receive it. Not with perfect words. Not with a flawless heart. Just with honesty. Just with openness. Just with a quiet, tired, but willing yes. Archangel Michael says, "The final alert still stands, and the moments are narrowing into something sacred, something eternal. You may feel the weight of it now, not as panic, but as a gentle, holy pull deep in your chest. The reason you were kept alive is not lost in mystery. It is not hidden from you. The reason has always been love. The kind of love that doesn't shout, doesn't demand, and doesn't give up. It waits. It whispers. And even now, with only a little time left, it stands open like the arms of Jesus, ready to hold you just as you are. Your life was never just a series of days. It has always been a story. Not a perfect one. Not without pain or sorrow. but a story marked by divine fingerprints. There were moments you felt abandoned, and yet you were being carried. There were days when everything felt empty, and still, your breath was kept steady by grace. There is more to you than what people see. There is a soul inside of you that God treasures more than all the stars He placed in the sky. And that soul is not too far gone. It is not too tired. It is not too late. God is not counting your failures. He is counting your steps, every one you've taken toward Him, even the ones that felt too small to matter. He sees the battles you've fought in silence. He sees the way you've held on, even when everything inside you wanted to let go. And He honors it, not with rewards made of this world, but with a love that will never stop chasing after you until your heart finally says yes. Even in these last few minutes, there is more than enough time for everything to change. Not in the world around you, but in the world within you. That's where it begins. That's where healing flows. That's where the voice of Christ speaks the loudest, not in thunder, but in a whisper that reaches the quietest parts of who you are. He is not a stranger. He is not distant. He is here, right now, closer than the air you breathe, ready to pour peace into the deepest ache of your soul. Sometimes we build walls around our hearts without even realizing it. Pain makes us do that. Fear makes us do that. Life, with all its disappointments, teaches us to protect ourselves by closing off the places that hurt. But Jesus does not come to tear down your defenses with force. He comes gently, with mercy in His hands, asking only for your trust. He doesn't demand full surrender all at once. He just wants the first step, the small, trembling yes that says, I need you. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. You don't have to know how everything will work out. You don't have to understand the road ahead. You only need to take that step toward the one who already walked every road before you, who knows your fears and still loves you completely. Jesus didn't suffer and die so that you would carry shame forever. He didn't rise from the grave so that your soul would stay locked in sorrow. He did it all so that you would have a way back, a way home. Right now, heaven is closer than ever before. There's a stillness, a weight in the air, because something eternal is happening within you. The door has not shut. The invitation has not been withdrawn. God is still reaching out, and He is not frustrated with you. He is not angry. He is filled with joy that you are listening, that you are here, that your heart is finally opening to what it was made for. This love, this grace, this offer of redemption is not for the perfect or the proud. It is for the weary. It is for the ones who know they need help, who are tired of pretending, tired of running, tired of trying to fill an empty space with things that never satisfy. Jesus is not another answer. He is the only answer. And He is not far away. Let yourself feel it. Not fear. Not guilt. But the gentle warmth of being seen fully and still fully loved. God does not want to take anything from you that matters. He only wants to take the burdens that are breaking you, the lies that have convinced you you're not enough, the pain that keeps whispering you're alone. You're not. You never have been. And now, in these quiet, fading minutes, you don't need to reach far. He is already reaching for you. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. This is the one moment that can rewrite your future, but only if you claim it now, because hesitation will only keep you chained to the same struggles. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Your life still holds purpose, even in these final moments. That purpose is not something you have to chase. It's something you receive. And when you do, when you truly say yes to the love of Jesus, something shifts. The weight lifts. The fear quiets. The soul breathes again. Time is short. But God's love is not. It stretches beyond this world, beyond every mistake, beyond every wound. And it is waiting right now, asking for your heart, not for what it can offer, but simply because it belongs to Him. Archangel Michael says, "This is still the final alert, and though the clock continues to move, heaven has not turned away. The time that remains is holy, not because of fear or warning, but because of the mercy that still flows through it. You were kept alive for a reason, and that reason is unfolding even now as these words reach you. The voice of God has been whispering through every moment of your life, through every heartbeat, through every tear, saying softly, 'You still matter. You are still mine.' You may not feel holy, or strong, or ready. You may feel small, worn out, or forgotten by the world. But the truth is far deeper than what your feelings tell you. You were created by a love that cannot be measured, a love that does not waver when you stumble, and does not fade when you are lost. God does not love you because of what you have done right. He loves you because He made you, and His creation is precious to Him. Every scar, every flaw, every hidden corner of your heart is seen, and none of it has disqualified you from His love. Type 2323 if you trust in God. Even now, with time slipping quietly away, the invitation stands. Jesus Christ, who once walked among the hurting and the forgotten, is still walking beside you. He knows your story from the beginning to the end. He knows the moments that broke you and the ones that built you. He knows the nights you sat awake, praying for peace that never seemed to come. And He has not stopped reaching for you. He does not come to ask for perfection, but for honesty. He wants the truth of your heart, not the image you show to the world. You are not meant to live burdened by guilt. You are not meant to carry shame as a constant shadow. Those things are chains that the enemy uses to keep your soul from feeling free, but Jesus has already broken them. The cross was not a symbol of punishment. It was a promise. It was heaven declaring that love will always have the final word. And that love, unshakable and eternal, has your name written on it. Take a moment and breathe. Feel that breath. It is not just air, it is grace. It is another gift from God, a sign that you still have the chance to turn your heart toward Him. The minutes may be few, but what God can do in 1 second is beyond all imagination. His mercy is not bound by time. His power is not limited by your past. When you open your heart to Him, even in the last flicker of a moment, heaven rushes in. Angels rejoice. Peace replaces fear. Light fills the spaces that darkness once ruled. You may think it's too late, but that's the lie that keeps people from finding hope. There is no too late for a soul that turns to Jesus. There is no distance too great that His love cannot cross. He has already walked through death to reach you, and He would do it again if it meant saving you. The Son of God did not give His life for the worthy. He gave it for the broken, the weak, the lost, the ones who think there's nothing left to save. He gave it for you. When you finally stop running, you will find that He has been walking beside you the entire time. Not behind you. Not far ahead. Right there. Always near. His hands have never let go of you, even when you thought you had slipped beyond reach. His light has never stopped shining, even when you turned your face away. That is who He is. Faithful. Gentle. Merciful. Love itself. You might not understand everything. You might not know how to pray or what to say. But God is not looking for perfect words. He is looking for a willing heart. Even a whisper is enough. Even a tear is enough. Even silence, when it comes from surrender, is enough. When your soul says yes, when you finally allow His love to touch the places you've hidden, everything changes. Not because you become someone new, but because you finally become who you were always meant to be, a beloved child of God. Look at your life now, not through the eyes of regret, but through the eyes of grace. Every pain, every loss, every heartbreak has been leading you here, to this moment where heaven and earth meet in your heart. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. You are loved beyond measure. You are being called home, not a place in the distance, but a place of peace, of belonging, of eternal rest in the arms of Jesus. The minutes are passing, yes, but the love of God is eternal. It will outlast every shadow, every fear, every tear. It will not leave you when this world fades. It will carry you into the light, into a forever that holds no sorrow, no pain, and no end. Type 555 to receive miracles. Archangel Michael says. The final alert continues, and though the clock draws nearer to its final seconds, God's love has not grown dim, and His mercy has not faded. You are still alive for a reason, and that reason is not rooted in fear, but in love that is deeper than your sorrow, stronger than your regrets, and far more faithful than any voice of doubt you've ever heard. These remaining minutes are more than just time, they are sacred opportunities, moments soaked in grace, gently offered to you by the same hands that were pierced for your salvation. Your heart may feel heavy. Maybe you've carried disappointment for years, tucked it away in the quiet corners of your soul where no one could see. You may have told yourself that this is just how life is, that peace is for other people, and that maybe you've missed your chance for joy. But that's not the truth. God speaks over you. He speaks life. He speaks restoration. He speaks love so tender and so constant that it follows you through every shadow and waits patiently at every dead end, hoping you'll turn and find Him still there. You were never expected to fix yourself before coming to Him. You were never asked to be flawless. God has always known your weakness. He knows your deepest wounds, even the ones you haven't spoken of, even the ones that feel too painful to look at. And still, He does not turn away. Instead, He kneels beside you, unhurried, unafraid, completely devoted. His love does not hesitate. It does not pull back. It steps closer. The reason you are still breathing is because your story is not finished. Even now, in the final stretch, there is a holy urgency in heaven because your soul matters. Your soul is known by name. You were not lost in the crowd. You were not forgotten in the chaos. The very same God who paints sunsets and calms storms knows you personally, and He is calling you not just to believe in Him, but to let Him into the places that ache, the places you thought were beyond repair. Jesus has always been near, not just when you prayed, but also when you didn't know how to. He was beside you in the heartbreak, in the moments you held your breath to keep from crying, in the silence where you begged for meaning. And now, as the noise of the world begins to fade, His voice becomes clearer. It is not loud, but it is strong. It doesn't demand, but it invites. It says, "You are not too late. You are not too far gone. Come to me." What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brainwave and begin your journey today. Others are already awakening this hidden signal and watching their lives transform. Do not be the one left behind while abundance passes you by. Heaven is not waiting to see if you perform. Heaven is waiting for your yes. Your quiet surrender. Your tired, honest, broken-hearted yes. That's all it takes. Because once that yes is whispered from your soul, Jesus does the rest. He lifts you. He washes away what you've carried. He makes beauty from ashes. He gives peace where there was only chaos. And He does not leave. You are not being asked to understand everything. You are simply being asked to believe that you are loved, truly and endlessly, just as you are. To believe that the same God who hung the stars also watches over your fragile heart. To believe that no failure, no secret, no past is stronger than the cross. The love of Jesus was not a one-time event. It is a living, breathing, ever-present grace that surrounds you now. As each moment passes, you are being drawn into something real. Not a religion, not a rule, but a relationship. A sacred, soul-deep connection with your Creator, the one who knows you completely and still desires you wholly. This is the kind of love that changes everything. Not by force, but by presence. Not by guilt, but by grace. It takes your fear and replaces it with belonging. It takes your shame and replaces it with peace. Type 777 if you walk by faith. Even now, angels are watching. Not to judge, but to rejoice. Heaven celebrates not the mighty, but the humble. Not the loud, but the honest. If your soul is weary, if your heart feels fragile, you are exactly where God can meet you. And He is not late. He is not waiting for more time. He is here now, in this final hour, gently asking you to say yes to the love that's been following you your whole life. There are no perfect words needed. There is no ritual or performance. Just a heart willing to be held. Just a soul ready to stop running. Just a quiet breath that says, I want you, Jesus. I need you. You were not created to carry the weight of this life alone. You were created for love. For redemption. For eternity. And right now, you are closer than you've ever been to the arms that never let go. Archangel Michael says, this is still the final alert, and as the moments slip quietly away, I tell you again with a voice filled with compassion and not fear, you were kept alive for a reason. Every beat of your heart has been guarded by heaven's hand. Every breath you take is a reminder that mercy still covers you, that love still surrounds you, and that even with the clock nearing its end, God has not withdrawn his invitation. You are still called, still wanted, still loved. For so long, you may have felt that life moved forward without you, that others found their joy while you were left behind, struggling to hold your faith together. You may have grown used to hiding your pain, pretending that strength meant silence. But God never asked you to pretend. He only asks you to be real. He does not want your mask, he wants your heart. Even if that heart feels cracked, bruised, or full of doubt, it is still enough for him. Because in his hands, broken things are not thrown away, they are restored. You have walked through storms that could have taken you, yet you are still standing. Not because you were strong enough, but because grace held you when you couldn't hold yourself. There were nights when you thought you wouldn't make it, and yet something unseen whispered to your soul to keep going. That whisper was God's love, steady and faithful, carrying you even when your hope felt faint. And now, that same love is speaking again, telling you that the reason you are still here is because heaven is not finished with you yet. Time is moving quickly, yes, but the love of Christ does not rush. It moves with patience, it waits with open arms, and it meets you right where you are. Jesus has always been near, not standing high above your struggles, but walking right through them with you. When your heart broke, he was there. When you doubted yourself, he still believed in the beauty he placed within you. When you thought you were alone, his presence was the quiet warmth that helped you breathe again. This final alert is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to wake you gently. It is meant to remind you that there is still time to reach back, to lift your eyes, to remember that your soul belongs to something eternal. The world will tell you that your worth is based on what you do, what you own, or what others think of you. But heaven tells a different story. Heaven says your worth is eternal, unchangeable, written by the hand of the one who made you. And that truth cannot be erased. Type 333 to welcome blessings. You may have fallen, but you are not forsaken. You may have sinned, but you are not beyond forgiveness. You may have wandered far, but the path home has never closed. Jesus is the way, and he stands before you now, not as a judge, but as a friend. The light in his eyes is not one of condemnation, but of deep compassion, the kind that sees every part of you and still calls you beloved. He does not ask what you've done wrong, he asks if you'll let him heal what has been broken for too long. If you could see what heaven sees when it looks at you, you would never again call yourself unworthy. You would never again believe you are too far gone. You would understand that your very existence is a reflection of divine care, that every scar and every lesson has shaped a heart capable of love, of redemption, of light. You would see that even the smallest act of faith, a whisper of belief, a tear of surrender, is powerful enough to move mountains in heaven's eyes. The time that remains is short, but in the eyes of God, one honest moment is enough to change everything. It does not take hours of prayer or perfect words. It takes a single breath of surrender. A single decision to open your heart and say, "Jesus, I'm yours." And in that instant, everything shifts. The weight of shame begins to lift. The darkness begins to fade. Peace begins to flow where fear once ruled. That is the miracle of grace. It moves faster than time, deeper than pain, stronger than anything that has ever hurt you. This moment you are in is not small. It is holy. It is the intersection of mercy and eternity. It is the sound of heaven whispering your name, one last time, with love so gentle that even the angels fall silent to listen. You have not been forgotten. You are the reason for this message. You are the one heaven has been waiting for. So let the noise fade. Let the fear fade. Let the walls you've built slowly come down. You are safe here. You are loved here. You are seen here. And no matter what you've done, no matter how far you've wandered, the same arms that stretched wide on the cross are still reaching for you now. They will never close until you are home. The final minutes are precious, and heaven is holding its breath, not in worry, but in hope. Because you are still here. Because love is still calling. Because your story can still end in grace. Archangel Michael says. The final alert still echoes through the air, not as thunder or chaos, but as a quiet call that pierces through the noise of the world and reaches directly into your heart. The minutes are almost gone, yet even now, heaven has not turned its face away. You are still breathing because love still surrounds you, still believes in you, and still reaches out to bring you home. You were kept alive for a reason, and that reason is the same now as it was from the beginning, to know the love of God and to live within it. You may not understand how deeply you are loved. You may think you've fallen too far, that too much has been lost, or that the mistakes of your past have defined you. But God does not see you through the lens of failure. He sees you through the eyes of compassion. He looks at you and sees His creation, the one He designed in love, the one He has never given up on, even when you gave up on yourself. Every scar, every tear, every moment of pain has been seen, and none of it has made Him turn away. Amen. This red alert, this divine message you are reading right now, is a gentle but urgent call back to the truth of who you are and whose you are. You belong to God. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are His beloved child, and He is calling you back, not to rules, not to religion, but to relationship. A relationship rooted in love, soaked in grace, held together by faith, and always pointing to redemption. Type 222 if you know God is with you. Heaven sees the ache you carry in secret, the burdens you don't share because you don't want to be a weight on anyone else. But Jesus invites you now to lay it all down. He isn't asking you to be strong for Him. He is offering to be your strength. He is not waiting for you to fix yourself. He is ready to step into the mess with you, to carry you if He must, to bring you through what you thought would break you. That's the kind of love He gives, not distant or conditional, but fierce, tender, and faithful. There is nothing ordinary about your story. There is divine purpose even in your pain. Sometimes, the most powerful chapters begin after the deepest struggles. You may not see it clearly yet, but God is writing beauty out of every shattered piece.